Hey guys, Chuka here. So in today's video, I want to find out what the best webcam for video calling on a Mac is. Here with me is the M1 Max Macbook Pro, and we have three options for video calling on this table. The first is the inbuilt webcam on the M1 Max Macbook Pro. The second is using the rear camera on the iPhone 14 Pro. And the third is using the Sony ZV-E10, which is going to be the best option when it comes to video quality, features, and all-round convenience. Let's find out. So first, let's start with the inbuilt webcam of the MacBook Pro. The setup process for this is pretty simple. Like, there's really no setup process because the webcam is already on the Mac. So all you need to use this is just to go to your video calling application. In this case, we're going to be using FaceTime. So we're going to open up FaceTime. And automatically, the camera that is going to be there is going to be the inbuilt webcam of the M1 Max MacBook Pro. This M1 Max MacBook Pro has a 1080p webcam, and this is what it looks like. We have features like, if you go to the video effects, that's just here. The only feature that we have on the M1 Max MacBook Pro is the portrait mode. So if you click on it, it blurs out the background. It doesn't do a very good job at this because it's still blurring out like parts of my hair, the top of my hair, but where we have that feature, and that's the only feature you have on M1 Max MacBook Pro. But this is what it looks like. It looks pretty good. The major pro of using the inbuilt webcam of your MacBook Pro is that it's very easy to set up. You literally just need to turn on your laptop and go to the video calling application on your laptop, and voila, you're good to go. The webcam is very good for a laptop webcam. Like, this is 1080p and it's pretty cool. So I'm really excited to see what the iPhone and the Sony has to offer. So the second option we have is using an iPhone as our webcam. Here with me is the iPhone 14 Pro, and this feature only works when you have the latest OS version of the Mac, which is the Mac OS Ventura. If you have an older operating system on your Mac, it's not going to work. So you need to update your laptop to Mac OS Ventura, which is the latest OS as of late 2022. To connect this also is pretty simple. As long as your iPhone is close by, all you just need to do is to go to the video section of the menu bar and click on Chuka's iPhone camera. On your own case, it's going to be your name's iPhone camera. So click on that, and voila, we have the iPhone in all its glory. And also, we can also switch the audio. So currently the audio is still going to be on the MacBook, so we can also use the audio coming out from the microphone of the iPhone if we want to. We just need to just click here. So this is basically how the iPhone looks like, which is pretty good. In my opinion, it's better than that of the inbuilt webcam of the MacBook Pro. The hair, there's more details in the hair. When we were using the inbuilt webcam of the MacBook Pro, I noticed that the hair was a bit noisy. It was quite good, but just a bit noisy, and there was not as much detail on the hair. This is more detailed. The one on my face, there's more detailed on my face. My beard as well. So the iPhone is doing a better job, which I'm not surprised because this is a dedicated camera, while the one on the webcam is just a webcam camera. And the cool thing about the iPhone is if you go to the control center, which is at the top right here, if you click on it and we go to video effects, we have like 4 options available to us here, which are really cool options. Portrait mode, which the inbuilt webcam of the MacBook already had, basically blurs out the background. You already know about that. But the one I really like is this studio light. So basically what studio light does is that it increases the brightness of the subject and it decreases the brightness of the background. So it's basically going to put more focus on the subject and reduce the focus on the background, which is really cool. If you turn off portrait mode so you see it properly. Then another feature again that's here that we can also use is center stage. So straight out of the bat, I can notice that the quality has dropped. The quality is not as good as it once was, and that's because center stage uses the ultra wide lens on the iPhone. When you're not using center stage, the lens being used is the main lens on the iPhone, which is the wide lens, and the wide lens is a better quality lens than the ultra wide lens, so that's why the quality has dropped. But here's the cool thing about using center stage, which is using the ultra wide lens on the iPhone. It tracks the movement of the subject. So watch me now. As I move, it's going to follow me. If I move like this, so it's going to follow me. So basically it's going to be hard for me to be out of frame because the lens is basically tracking me wherever I go, and that's only possible using center stage, which uses the ultra wide lens. So in addition to the fact that it's a lower quality lens, one of the reasons why the quality is also still not as good is because it's basically zooming in. Right now it's zoomed in. The lens originally is much wider than this, but right now it's being zoomed in a bit to focus more on me. If I go back, you notice that it gets wider, you get. So yeah, and if you move left, you notice that this space that has been cropped out already before. So yeah, that's what wide lens. So I've removed center stage. And another cool feature that it has is Dex View, and let me show what Dex View does. Dex View basically is going to show a footage of your decks. So if you want to show somebody what's happening on your decks, maybe you're writing something or you're teaching something, you can easily show that person that stuff. And to do that, all you just need to do is to go to Dex View like we already did, and then come here and click on Start Dex View. We can also set the area that we want to showcase. So let's arrange it a bit, put the lead backwards a bit, and then let's click on Start Dex View. So now I've clicked on Start Dex View. As you can see, my hands are now in frame. It's not really the best orientation. It's not really like a proper top-down view, but it's worked. I feel like it gets the job done. Let's put this backwards a little bit, and then as it's on now, we can zoom out more to show more of what we're doing. We can also zoom in more to give the person a tighter view of what we're doing. So let me just do a quick sample. Let me get a biro and a paper and try and write something so you can see what it look like. So I'm gonna get a paper and a pen. You can use it to teach. Let's do some algebra. It's algebra, let's call it. Some math though. I don't know. Let's find x. So let's see. First, hello. So basically, you're going to be able to see me in person, and you're also going to be able to see what is on my decks. So I can expand. Let's expand this window that has my decks. If this is too far away and you can't see what I'm writing, I can just zoom in, and the person that I'm doing a video call with will be able to see what I'm writing better. So found x is 1. So that's it for Dex View. If you go to the video effects section, we can also see the battery life of our iPhone, which is currently at 91%, which is pretty good. But if you want to be able to record with the iPhone for a very, very long period of time without your battery dying out, you can always connect a USB-C to a lightning cable to your iPhone to charge it as it's going on. So we have it plugged in right now, but it's saying charging on hold. So I'm still seeing the power sign here that shows it's charging. So it's probably not charging, but it's probably going to be decreasing at a very, very slow pace like this. But anyways, the battery life of the iPhone 14 Pro without this is very good. The reason why I like using this iPhone is that it's connected wirelessly. That means I can basically hold my iPhone and move it around, and it's still going to be connected. You don't need to connect wires to the MacBook Pro and then connect it to your iPhone to be able to use this feature. So which means that while the video call is on, I can basically carry the iPhone, moving around, even though I can't see myself, but whoever is there can see me, which is pretty cool. And it helps for a cleaner setup, a cleaner tech setup when you're video calling. The Sony, on the other hand, you have to connect it to the MacBook using a USB cable, which we'll be getting into shortly. To be able to use this feature on your iPhone, first things first, you need to check the Mac that you're using. Any MacBook that was introduced in 2017 or later would work. Any MacBook Pro in 2017 or later would also work. MacBook Air introduced in 2018 or later would also work, and so on and so forth. Also, you need to make sure that your Mac is running the latest Mac operating system, which is Mac OS Ventura. If you're using an older Mac operating system such as Mac OS Monterey, Big Sur, it's not going to work. So ensure that you're updated to the latest Mac operating system. For the iPhone, you need to ensure that your iPhone is running the latest iPhone operating system, which is iOS 16. Also, the type of iPhone that you're using matters. Any iPhone from iPhone 10R or later is going to work. But iPhone 10R is not going to have center stage, it's not going to have Dex View, and it's not also going to have the Studio Light feature. The center stage and the Dex View features that I showed you earlier only works with iPhone 11 or newer iPhones, and that's because center stage and Dex View uses the ultra-wide lens of an iPhone, and the first iPhone that had an ultra-wide lens is the iPhone 11. iPhones before the iPhone 11 did not have an ultra-wide lens, and then if you want that Studio Light feature, which is really, really cool, you need to have an iPhone 12 or later. If you're getting value from this video, kindly hit the subscribe button, like, and leave a comment if you have any questions. Now, back to the video. Last but not the least, let's test out the Sony ZV-E10. This one has like the most complex connection process. It's not complex, it's just more complex than the iPhone and the internal webcam of the MacBook. But I made a full length video on how to connect the Sony to the Mac, which you can watch, I think, right here. But in summary, basically all you need to do is to turn on the camera, make sure that PC remote is turned off and smartphone connection is turned on, and then go to auto power temperature and set that to high, and then going to go to your menu, and then you're going to go to USB streaming. After you do that, you're going to get a Type-C to Type-C USB cable, connect one end of the Type-C cable to the Sony, and connect the other end to your MacBook. And after doing that, just go to video and then go to under camera, see ZV-E10. Go to click on the ZV-E10. So this is the ZV-E10. Doesn't look as good for some reason. The iPhone looks better in my opinion. Cool thing about this is that we can always adjust the exposure. This is on manual exposure right now, so we can set our exposure exactly how we want it. So let me adjust it a little bit. So let's take it out. I think this a little bit, sorry. So it's currently on ISO 250, yeah. And also, like I said earlier, you can always change the microphone that you want to use when you're doing your video call. Currently it's on Chuka's iPhone microphone, so it's currently using a microphone on my iPhone. But if I wanted to use the ZV-E10 microphone, I'll just click on the ZV-E10. The only extra feature that ZV-E10 has, if you go to video effects, is the portrait mode. And it's pretty much the same with the iPhone and with the MacBook webcam. So nothing special here. The ZV-E10, you need a USB cable to connect it. So the setup process is not as clean as when you're using your internal webcam on your MacBook and as when you're using the iPhone, which connects wirelessly. But the cool thing about the wired connection is that as it's connected right now, it's also charging the camera. So I can be sure that the battery is not going to die. It's just going to remain exactly as it is. It's currently on 100%, and throughout the duration of the call, it's most likely still going to remain at 100%, so maybe just a little bit below 100. So that's the cool thing about the wired connection. It's also charging it at the same time. So this is the ZV-E10, quick one. This is the ZV-E10. Let's just go through all of them real quick. This is the ZV-E10. This is how it looks. This is the iPhone camera. This is how the iPhone camera looks like. We have studio lights on done. This is without studio lights. This is with studio lights, this is with portraits, and this is center stage, the one that tracks us. And then this is the internal webcam of the M1 Max Macbook Pro with portrait mode on. Personally, in my opinion, when using FaceTime, I think the best is the iPhone, followed by, I'm not sure between the MacBook and the Sony, but the MacBook is doing a pretty good job. I don't like this portrait mode. Let me just turn it off real quick. Which is better between the MacBook? Which do you prefer between the MacBook and the Sony? Let me try the Sony again. The Sony is more detailed, that's for sure. My beard is more detailed here, and my head is also more detailed, and the Sony is wider, it shows more things in the frame, but they're both pretty good. My face is also more detailed on the Sony, and the MacBook is softer. So yeah, that's pretty much it for that.